Minor Disturbance Radio, episode 29. Welcome to the show. I am so jazzed to be doing another podcast. Every time I put one out, can't wait to do it again. And thanks to everybody that watches the show and comments, and you say nice things to me, and then there's a couple assholes that click the unlike and tell me that I'm never going to amount to shit. And then I cry for a couple hours, and then, somebody says something nice again, and then I frame that and stare at it. And,
it's basically a referendum on whether or not people dig you.
Yeah. I mean, there's something wrong with me, obviously, right?
Clearly.
Must be.
Well, so anyway, I've got a pretty good show put together here. We've changed the format of the show. We redid the entire studio, with technology and stuff, so it's going to have a little bit better audio, I hope. And we also redid kind of the formatting as far as we're trying to decide when to do the podcast, because we've been doing it on Friday nights all the time. Tonight's a Friday night. And it's hard to find, the people that are going to be on our show as guests are going to be musicians.
Right.
And they're going to be playing Friday and Saturday.
Well, thankfully, Kevin's not a real one, so he was able to come out tonight.
But luckily, we found, after going down the line of all the musicians, we had to settle for one that was not playing tonight.
I'm not doing anything.
Kevin Sampson's been in the game a lot longer than I have, so it's going to be really fun to talk to you about, local stuff and being in a band and that whole thing. So
I'm happy to be here.
Welcome to MDR, man.
Thanks, man.
If you don't know Kevin, he's in Lynn Allen now.
Right.
But the road leading to Lynn Allen has been a very long one. A long and windy road. Right?
You might say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are, and I don't know if you want to tell everybody.
47.
Okay, I'm 41. So when the 80s thing was happening, you were at the prime age for that. You were out in it, playing in clubs, right?
Smack dab in it, yep.
And when we say the 80s thing, am I talking about late 80s, early 90s, really?
I think so.
We're not talking, because 80s would have been like the pinstripe tie and the suit coats and the featherback hair.
Right, skinny ties.
Right? Yeah, the skinny tie.
Yeah, post-mod.
I was playing in the Clipper way before I should have been there.
Oh, yeah? How old?
Yeah.
How old?
17,
Oh.
18.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have to sit by the soundboard?
Nope.
No?
No.
Oh, fuck. I got treated like shit then, because it was minor. Back to the board. Marge would fucking march my ass back there and make me sit by the soundboard.
Yeah, I'm not sure how all that worked out, but I never got in trouble. Marge never said anything. I drank like everybody else.
Well, for everybody that's listening, the Yankee Clipper in our area was unfortunately the I don't know, would you say it was the
nicest condos,
the most cultured rock club, I guess, at the time? I mean, this was a club that was open pretty much all week. Was it open on Mondays?
No, Monday was the day off.
But either way, if you played in there, you started at what, like 6 o'clock at night, and you played until like 6 in the morning or something?
I think we started at 9, and then we went till 2:30.
Okay.
But you did like 6 sets.
Okay. Are we okay on the board?
Oh, we're fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you had to play 6 sets.
Ignore me.
Right.
I think I talked about this before, but I sat down and figured out what I was making an hour playing at the Clipper, and it came to 15 cents or so.
Oh, you were doing good then.
Yeah. I just remember I thought that I'd made it.
Right.
When I was, I found myself in a band, and all of a sudden I was playing my first gig at the Clipper.
Right, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I was set up. Anyway, this is a rock bar that it's you wouldn't want to really take your mom or your girlfriend or anybody that you cared about there, because you might not leave with them or make it through. It's just a scary bar.
You might leave with somebody else's mom, though.
Did they have windows? I don't even think they had fucking windows. It was just scary.
They were like high up on the wall.
I think there were windows at one time, but there was so much dust on it.
I remember going in the bathroom, the urinals, there's no bottom to the urinals, but people were still standing there using the backboard of the urinal thinking that they were still doing it right. It was just bouncing off there and then onto the floor.
Oh, jeez.
And you're standing in a puddle of piss.
They were...
That was scary.
In
my I'm happy to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is it. I want to do this for the rest of my life, man. Yes.
In my estimation, I think that the Yankee Clipper Supper Club was actually like our CBGB. I once went to that bar in New York City before it closed down, and it was like decorated the exact same way. It was like all weird black painted plywood, and everything was very ramshackle. Everything was just sort of thrown together, and the bathrooms were horrible. And
there was a certain smell.
Yeah.
Oh, you always knew it.
You
walked into the place.
Yeah, if I blindfolded you and say I'm taking you somewhere, you have no idea where I'm taking you, and I just bring you in the front door.
I'm at the Clipper.
Wow.
Yeah, the Clipper.
You can smell it from outside.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like that 70-year dust
Yeah.
or something.
It's
if
like,
you know what I'm talking about.
It was like crack smoke and fermented urine.
I actually, when they were tearing it down, I snuck over to the Tiger's Den part, the strip bar that was next to it.
Right.
And they had began to tear the building down. And so you could sneak into the back. And if you went over this hole just right and climbed along the wall, you could get to where the stage used to be.
Ah.
And my friend and I proceeded to, well, he did most of the work. I was like, dude, come on, get out of there, man. We're going to fall in a hole when you're dying here. And he's like, fuck this. I got to do this. We got a chunk of the, I guess it would be tiger print, whatever was along the perimeter of the stage and around the edge there that contained that smell.
Oh, wow.
And still did. And a boob level 1x1 mirror.
Yeah, I remember
because they were all little squares, right?
Yeah.
And we're pink, get a boob level one, man, because that one had to have been like
had some
smeared
grease
with
on it, yeah.
all kinds of, and so.
Did you ever fall off the steps getting up on the stage, or fall off the stage for that matter?
At the Clipper?
Yeah.
I was always amazed at, because when I first started playing at the Clipper, I thought I was cool, here I am with my bowl cut. I'm like, yeah, I'm in a band, dude. I got my ripped pants on. And, I got to go play, man. Sorry, I can't talk to you for very long. I got to get up there and play again. You walk and you fucking walk up to the pool ladder.
Yeah.
That's right.
Climb up the pool ladder, what I mean? And then get up to your part.
Totally.
They had me, you had to go behind the bar and then climb up like what they'd have in a pool. That was basically a pool ladder. And then you climb up on the stage that way. And then I went up to the riser on the right-hand side. So they had me up there. And I believe they had the bass player on the other riser on the other end.
Yeah.
And
you were on Lee's side of the stage.
so I basically had my own little riser part,
Love it.
Yeah. And I was sitting there just trying to kill it,
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my big break, dude.
Yeah.
They're going to find me in here. Warner Brothers Records is going to come in here and spot me.
I played on that stage one time myself, and I thought the same thing, by the way. I was like, everybody's going to see, and I am going to be famous. I had green hair. I had bright green
What
short
band?
hair. It wasn't really a band. It was just me and Eric Kranz, me and Chicken Boy, just guitar and drums, no vocals, no nothing, just
Like
me
White
and him.
Stripes.
Yeah, just guitar and drums, and I was wearing a pair of factory floor coveralls from Caterpillar, and I must have looked like some premonition of Slipknot, and. We got up and we played one song, and it was the slowest, dirgiest, most heavy thing we could possibly play. And we got done, and like one person was like,
So what night is this? Is this a Tuesday?
I think it was a Sunday night.
It was jam night, then.
It was jam night. That's
yeah,
right.
So you got up on jam night.
Got up on
if you-
jam night.
If you played there, you had to play the whole week, and then on Sunday you had to entertain other people playing on your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you started the week on
You
Tuesday,
hosted a jam night.
and then it went through Sunday. Sunday was your last night.
Yeah.
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 So
And of course, Eric killed the drum kit and the dude was freaking out, because he was just jamming that.
Yeah.
Fucking up my head, dude.
Dude, I have a story, and I'm gonna tell it. And I'm not trying to start shit, but back then, attitudes were different. People acted different before we were adults. I was this bowl cut, young kid coming into the scene, and apparently I've spent a little time in my bedroom getting decent at guitar. I guess I had a little longer or more of a encyclopedia of players to study. But some of these guys that were older and been out in the scene for a while, I don't know, they found pussy or something. They stopped trying.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, they got so good, and then they just kind of stopped. And then the younger, how the younger generation, they're always going to outdo you.
Yep.
And I was in that little wave of coming in the new players, and that jam night, I think Freeze took me up there, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you got to get up to jam night.
Get up and kill it."
Okay, and so, all right, you sure, man? Yeah. Get up there, man. And it was, I want to say it was Amazon Blonde maybe playing.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know, but I know the guitar player was Terry Cortez.
Terry Cortez, yeah, that's right.
And it was his Marshall. And so I plug in this thing, and I don't know what happened, and I don't know because I'm flush, I'm like, shit, this is it. I'm on stage right now, and all the musicians that it's jam night. It used to be happening.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody would be down there. So here's my turn. I got the guitar and I got to play my thing, and I just remember Terry coming up onto the stage and shutting the amp off in the middle of my set or whatever I was doing, the song I was doing. Shuts it off and wants me to not be on the stage anymore. So the way that I remember it, I don't know if there was a problem, but the way I remember it, he's basically kicking me off the stage.
Right. He's like, nope.
And I was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, but yet is awesome.
I don't know if okay. Jerry and I remember it as being that kind of situation, like he was not having it. You know, you're not going to come up here and play like that. But you know, if he watches this, he might see it different. Maybe he can send me an email and tell me why he shut the fucking amp off.
I don't know.
He sucked so bad I had to shut him off.
Maybe,
man.
yeah, right.
I loved it when it came to Sunday night because at that point you're tired of it and you don't want to be there anymore. And hopefully somebody's going to come and play. And when they did, it was great. That's the way I felt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. I just got paid to have this dude play.
What band were you in when you were in there?
Oh, God. Limousine.
Oh.
Yeah, Limousine. And before that, I can't even remember the names of them. It was so long ago.
Goddamn, Limousine. Who all was in that?
It was me, Scott Griggs.
Scott Griggs. I just ran into him at Rascals a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, Jimmy Creo, who used to play with Matt in Vaduz.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And a guy named Ray Jewell on guitar.
Okay. Were you guys any good?
We thought we were.
Were you? Well, you know how good you are by how many chicks are waiting after the show, right? You know that's a good barometer.
Must have sucked.
If there's none, you're probably a pretty good band. If there's no chicks, you're probably
Pretty good band. Exactly.
If there's a ton of chicks, you probably sucked.
My whole outlook on life is done now. Thanks.
Yeah, but so you were in Limousine. Where did Monarch? Because you know, when you do these Throwback Thursday things, and sometimes you put up old videos of bands. I gotta say, man, I'm gonna play one of the videos that you put up for Monarch.
All right.
What year do you think that this was?
It was 1990.
1990.
Yes.
Okay. I have not graduated high school yet.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
me either.
And the band, I'll show the video, but you could tell that the band was polished, and you know, they had the whole 1990 thing going. You know, and you were doing your own material.
Right.
Let's go ahead. I want to play that because I want to show.
So this is the cusp.
This is
the cusp of grunge.
Yeah. And
yeah.
It's called Maybelline. This one's by Monarch also.
Well, why is he so sad? This one's by Monarch also. You know, that whole like front man,
sadness,
like it's hard for me to introduce this song.
That's passion.
It actually jams.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the guitar sound. That's great.
who's the guitar player here?
Colin Ireton.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He lives. He doesn't live in Minneapolis anymore.
Does he have that hair still?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just fucking around.
It's too bad.
Does he have any hair?
Yeah, he's got some hair.
Yeah?
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't lose it. He just cut it.
Mine all
But look at-
migrated to my belly.
But look at that club. What is that club?
That's the Mirage in Minneapolis.
Oh,
Yeah.
kick ass. Listen to that dude's voice,
Yeah.
man. Fuck. Jesus Christ. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, he was something else.
Reverse headstock on the bass. You know that dude's for
Is
real.
it? Is it the bass?
Yeah. That was a crackle paint reverse headstock bass right there.
Looked like an ESP.
That's how you know that fucker means business.
I'm sure it was a Jackson.
It was a Jackson
Yeah, I'm
bass.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Check the chicks out in the front right there, man. Is that all the band girlfriends, or is that, be honest?
Most of them came and seen us whenever we were in town.
That's not like your sisters and a couple girlfriends?
No,
Okay.
no, but they were good friends. Yeah.
Now, how long was this band together then?
2 years at the most.
I see.
Yeah.
See, this is the kind of shit that I would have saw at that age and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
these guys got the shit together. So you've got to be that good at least and
At
have
least,
that
right.
big of a backdrop. You know what I mean? Because they had, look at the backdrop.
Yeah.
I've been in bands where they you can't even spell their own name. You know, they write it in marker on a fucking some construction paper.
Right, dude.
That backdrop is bigger than most stages I play on now.
Yeah, no shit.
God damn, you're a sexy bitch. Look at you back there.
I could move then. I couldn't even come close to doing that now.
So if you could walk up to yourself, I'm gonna listen to the solo here in a second too, because you know it's coming. Here it comes. Not bad, dude.
Not too shabby, man.
And I'm not saying for 1990, but he was obviously in the game.
Yeah, he was in the game.
Yeah.
That was this kind of triad arpeggiation approach. It's very Jakey Lee.
Right, I liked it.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
That singer's
He was a
voice,
good
though,
player.
man. That singer's voice is fucking is really good. I think he's got to do a high one here, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
baby.
You know, he kind of sounds like the dude from Loudness.
I'm getting excited, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't
See,
know
I
that
would've
he was gonna do that note there, but I knew it was coming.
Right.
You know.
Now, you might have been like in the middle of the audience, pissed that like you weren't in the band, or thinking, well, I got to be at least this good. This suck, man. Fuck, man. I'm going back home. I'm gonna practice.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna talk to my dudes, and we're gonna get together, and we're gonna figure this shit out, and my band's gonna be awesome. Meanwhile, I'm in the back going, why did he repeat that riff 90 times? What the fuck, man? Don't these people understand composition at all?
Well, listen, man. Did you see how many girls were dancing? Did you see all 10 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many were dancing at a Mariana show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
0.
Hey.
That's exactly right.
Let's have a moment of silence for the dancers at a Mariana show.
That's right. That's right.
Listen, so that kid sitting behind the drums right there, if you at your age right now could walk up to that kid, and you know you're just getting done with that set right there, and you at your age right now could walk up to that dude when he's coming off stage, what would you say to him?
I'd say just don't take everything so damn seriously.
Were you an asshole like me then?
Yeah, I was.
Where everything had to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk into the mic a little more?
Yeah.
Are we hearing him pretty good?
I think so.
Yeah, because that's a pretty good proximity. You got to get on that son bitch.
Gotcha.
And I don't want people to not be able to hear you.
I can give him a little more gain.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Don't take everything so seriously. Now,
what position was that band in? I mean, you were doing covers and originals.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we were in that position.
Yeah.
Writing on the road, mostly. We did a lot of the tracks on the road.
I mean, how did you
But-
manage that? Like in hotel rooms, or
No, we
on,
in
the
the
bus?
clubs. In the clubs.
Just in the clubs doing.
Yeah, we could
Like during
record,
sound check?
yeah. No, we could during the week because at that time, when you were playing at the club, you were in the club from Tuesday on.
So you basically
much.
lived there. You had all day long and shit to
Right.
play around and
And
all
that's
that.
that's pretty much all we did.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, that'd be kind of fun though.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I never got that opportunity.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I all the writing was done in my bedroom or my mom's
Sure.
basement or
Sure.
that would have been awesome to be on the road. Well, first of all, writing as a band, was it anybody, one person coming in, hey, I got this riff and here's the melody, let's try to put it together, or did you just jam and it started happening?
Colin wrote most of the material.
Okay. Where's that singer at?
He's not singing anymore either, but as far as I know, I mean, we're still friends, but he's not doing this anymore.
He don't sing at all.
I don't think so.
Wow. So
Well,
how old
yeah.
would he be now? Like your age?
Yeah. Yeah, we were all about the same age.
Doesn't he realize that there's room for that kind of voice in 80s tribute bands?
But I mean, he may not still have that voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a possibility.
I don't know. It sounded pretty strong, dude.
It did. It sounded good, man. Like I
Well,
said, it kind of reminded me of the dude from Loudness. Had that grit.
I liked it,
had
man.
That
That was
grit
good.
to it. That
Well,
was
that's part of the reason that we're not together, or why we split up, is him and the guitar player wanted to get out of it and do something else.
nice.
So it just
Like do different kind of music?
was Christian music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, shit. Okay, well then.
I was pissed at the time, but I totally respect it now.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
guess, man. I guess.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where if you
That's a bold change.
It is.
It was-
if you
yeah.
start to get the feeling that that the cultural direction of the music that you're playing is going in a bad way for what you want to do with your life, I could definitely see how changing your aesthetic, and trying to make it so that you are performing for audiences or are trying to address audiences that are more in line with the sort of people you want to be around, you certainly make that change. Now, I mean, I have not historically been that big a fan of quote unquote message driven music. I mean, it to me ends up sounding like, fake. It ends up sounding like, the message, since the message is actually more important than the music, then the music actually sort of takes a subordinate role.
I gotcha.
And ends up sounding kind of like not real. There have been a few bands here and there that were quote unquote Christian bands that they didn't sound that way though. And I think the reason why is because they understood, I think, that no matter what, the message was going to be there. They weren't going to do something that wasn't going to be consistent with that message. So they could just go ahead and focus on the music and do the music.
Kind of like POD.
POD, they did pretty well with it. My famous example would be King's X.
Right.
Because there was... You never felt like they were proselytizing to you. But everything that went on with the lyrics and everything that was going on with the philosophy behind what they were doing was absolutely in line with what their beliefs were. There were a couple metal bands in the early '90s that were pretty darn good metal bands too. So
yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, whatever happened, just kind of, did you get any interest? Did you have a full record out? Did you do
We were with ARM.
A tape?
Out of... Yeah, well, but I don't have it anymore.
Does that piss you off?
Kinda.
Yeah, yeah. Be nice to have it.
I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
We were, we didn't have a deal with anybody, but we were starting to go into the management side of the agency, and things were going pretty good. We never got as far as talking to the record companies at that point, but and then it all just, they decided Ed and Colin wanted to leave and do Christian music. And so at that point, we tried to put it back together, and it just didn't work.
Like with different people, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And so
what did you do after that?
I worked at a bulk mailing place up there for a couple years, and then came home. Yeah.
Huh.
Stuff in
So
envelopes.
is that kind of like is that your feather in your cap, that band right there?
I would say probably, yeah. I guess
that's like my drop hammer to me. Probably
Right.
That's your drop hammer, or that you understand what I'm saying?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So
it was a lot of fun.
Okay, see, I still have a hard time. I'll just be honest. I'm always honest with people, but I still have a hard time looking back at stuff the drop hammer stuff without feeling that heartbreak.
Right.
And I could tell that when we were watching this, you were like, I could feel don't fucking rip on it, man, because I'll come over this table at your ass, and I actually respect. I wouldn't have played it if I was going to make fun of it.
Right.
I'm making fun of the time. These kids that are out now have no idea what the late 80s, early 90s kind of thing, what that was. And we were chasing that dragon of the 80s still.
Yeah.
Yep.
And our market was just about ready to croak it, and there's some of that going on right now where people are still chasing that, and it's just the end of their little thing that's going on, and they don't know it yet
Not
either,
yet.
So
I heard something today that I think kind of shines a little bit of light on it, and I love this quote. It's, "We are all in training to become nobody special."
Perfect.
Which is really, I think, pretty poignant. We all have to sever our ties with this idea that we just had to be special people and just had to be a certain way and all this stuff, because essentially we threw all our relationships on the fire in favor of trying to do this thing that wasn't going to probably satisfy us anyway. I mean, especially in the modern age of the internet, we can look into the lives of the people who quote unquote were successful, and most of their lives are wrecks. You know what I mean? It's,
right.
It's not that easy to see, and we kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of like to look at it and be like, "Ha ha 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 ha, you dumb bastard." You know what I mean? Because it's drama, But at the same time, man, I mean, I think that the three of us sitting here doing this, we got off pretty lucky. That's what I think, man. We were able to give some gifts, and it didn't cost us our souls.
Absolutely. And learn to be happy with who you are.
Totally, man.
Yep.
Totally. The happiness it comes from the inside and moves out. It doesn't go the other way, And I know that, like, it might be a good barometer of, where you're at with this when you can listen to the drop hammer stuff and it's just a purely happy thing again,
Well, that's going to be impossible, and I'll tell you why. And if you did have the tape, you would probably want to redo every drum take that you ever did on the tape.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
with, you know, with the technology now
Yeah.
and all that. You know, I just hope when.
And I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way.
When my wife, sometimes we're having drinks or whatever, sitting out in the garage, back when we used to not be losers, and we could actually hang out together, fucking kids, and listen to music and all this, she'd put on Drop Hammer, you know, and want to listen to it. She's like, I like it. I'm like, you just like it because I'm fucking you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you
That's
don't want to piss
exactly.
me off. She's like, no, I really do like it. I was like, how can you like it? How can you like it compared to what is going on now? I mean,
Right.
And she does, she doesn't. But what I can't stand listening to it.
Sure.
So and not that I hate it. It's just like I can't go through every single like. Here comes that part that is
Yep.
flat. Here comes
Yep.
that snare
Yep.
hit that's not just right.
Yep.
And here comes that guitar tone that. Oh God, how did I let that go?
Sure.
And I'm just hoping that if anybody else says, hey, remember that one band that Drop Hammer? I found their CD in my sock drawer.
Dude, wait till you hear these terrible licks and missed drum hits on this thing, dude. And oh my God, the tones are awful.
I'm just hoping
The
that
editing. What
people
were they
understand.
thinking?
When was it? Oh, 96. Okay, yeah, that explains a lot of it. Okay.
Well, every single one of those little mistakes that's in there becomes evidence that, you know, that this is the reason why you didn't make it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Every little fucking problem with it, every little missed hit, every little everything is all just added to the pile of evidence, man. Yeah. Wasn't good enough.
I don't know. Not enough money.
Not enough money.
Yeah, here.
Right.
This music producer said, you know what they used to use back in the 70s before they had Pro Tools? Professionals.
That's right, exactly.
So,
man.
yeah, because they didn't have that. You know, go listen to a fucking Zeppelin record. They didn't.
Yeah.
They ain't making
Yeah.
any excuses, but
Yeah.
they probably didn't do that in 4 days either.
No.
You know.
Although a lot of those people were tools. So you know,
They were professional
They were
tools.
professional tools. That's what I'm saying.
And they got paid
before,
for it.
Before we used Pro Tools, we used professional
Yeah.
tools.
So what was it that made you want to pick up drumsticks and be a drummer? Come on, let's get to know Kevin Sampson.
Exactly.
Man.
You
Let's
know
crawl
what?
inside Kevin Sampson.
I just was given a one of those toy drum sets when I was really, really young, and I just kept it on it. And
Are we talking about
eventually-
like J.C. Penney's?
Oh, yeah.
Sizzle cymbal, like we talked about
Yes,
the
dude.
the
Yep.
kick drum that sounded like a floor top. Dum.
Yep. And when they
Yep.
set them up in the catalog, the toms were all like forward and like kind of like facing each other. That's fucking.
when I finally put
I don't know, dude.
Like whoever took the picture. How
Yep.
do they set up drums? I don't know.
It's some guy with a cigar and a camera, and then there's the intern that's out there,
Yeah.
and he's I don't know how to set these up, sir, and he's just put them in place. Just put them over there.
So then when I wore that out, they said, let's just go ahead and get him one that's a little bit more expensive, and I just kept at it, and they finally realized, this might be something he wants to do.
What was the first
So-
song?
The first song that I played,
Yeah.
the first song that I actually remember playing, and I played it all the freaking time. It was "Don't Stop," that off of Rumors. Go Your Own Way.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
played that constantly because of the drums and that.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Terrific album, by the way.
Yeah.
Terrific album.
Absolutely.
I love that album.
That's what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Guy like-
It should have been Kiss Alive 1.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know?
Yeah.
For me, that's what happened to me. I started out on drums, basically.
Right.
And I never really got good at it, but just keeping like a 4/4 beat. I was the
Right.
only one in my grade school that could do it. So they like,
Yeah.
oh, Brian, he's a drummer.
He's a drummer.
Right.
I am? Okay. And then I'd go home and bash on the drums. Actually, I did, before I even had the drums, I just had books.
Yeah, dude.
And I'd put them on my bed. Oh, we're going to go deep into Brian. This is going to be embarrassing. But I don't care. I'll say it.
Did you use a piece of paper for the snare?
No, I used a
'Cause
book.
You get kind of a snare sound.
I'm
when you
not,
do
I'm
that,
not
yeah,
sure.
right.
I'm not sure that this time that I knew what a snare was.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I just knew that they had a bunch of bunch of stuff that they were banging on. So
Right.
I would put like these books out on the bed. I would go in my closet. I had the cardboard tube that used to be on the hangers. Break
Yep,
them off. So
yep.
now you got these look
Yep.
okay. And then I would. We lived in a big house, and so we had a lot of room. I would go out into the hallway and close the bedroom door, and stand out there. And I'd put Kiss Alive 1 on, run out of the room, stand out outside, and like, And I'm like, oh shit. And I'd have a towel and everything. And I'd have a towel over my shoulders and shit, waiting. And I'd be talking to my imaginary other band members and shit. Like, all right, we're gonna tear it up, man. You know,
go rock.
And then it's like, you know, you are the best. You got the best. And then I'd start going, okay. And I'd go and I'd sit in the chair and I'd start just banging on it and somewhere like after about the 4th or 5th song, I'd kind of start to get bored with it, and my sister'd be like, "Shut up, you know, quit stomping on the floor." Like, shut up, you're ruining my concert, bitch.
My kick drum. It's my kick drum.
So, you know, and then after the side was over, and I'd run back out in the hall and act like the concert was over, and something was born in me.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And I could never really get away. You know, I think that was probably the pinnacle of everything. Just that feeling of the magic of what it must have felt like, that I was that daydreamer, that what I was doing.
Yeah.
That was as good as it got.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I went on to kind of do that for real in front of people, it still never really was as good as that felt.
Dude, I dreamed every night of being on stage
Oh,
for
yeah.
years, man.
And then
every
when
night.
you realized that chicks dug it, you were like, this is what I have to do.
Exactly.
That's it.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we kind of covered this in our conversations yesterday while we were setting all the new equipment up, that you always felt like you knew that even if some dude could beat your ass, you were better than him at drums. You were better than him at guitar. If this was a guitar showdown, it'd be fucking
It's on.
Dude.
It's like,
I would
hey,
destroy you.
Everybody stand back.
Yeah, right.
Unsheath the fucking ninja sword.
Exactly. Out comes the katana.
Yeah, which is actually the guitar, and you can play
Right.
battery on it.
That's right.
Down, down, down. And everybody's like, everybody back off. Don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, that was my get out of jail free card.
Yeah,
right
me too.
there.
But you know, it's kind of funny. Like some of the guys that I hung out with who, you know, didn't play or whatever, but were like tough, they'd be like, "Nobody gonna fuck with you, Trav. I got you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there,
They
man.
would.
You get
They would. They
protection.
protect me, yeah, absolutely.
You realize the benefits of playing music.
Absolutely.
Which, you know, if it would have been like the clarinet, you're fucked.
No,
you know?
dude, exactly.
You beat them kids up on the way home, you know. But
You'd be walking home like a fucking duck with that thing jammed up your ass.
I saw a kid today. He was carrying some big box. Looked like a road case.
Yeah.
Fucking barely carrying it like this.
Yeah.
It must have been a trumpet.
Yeah,
Poor
right.
motherfucker.
But it was giant.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, oh man, get him a Les Paul and call it a day.
And then one time, my mom and my dad were out, and I turned I had a babysitter, you know, and I turned the radio from whatever country station was they were listening to like what I found out later was 97X, and
Which then 97X has been through some changes, haven't they?
yes,
And so then it was a true 97X rocks.
At this particular time at night, they were playing "Do You Feel Like We Do" from Peter Frampton, and I'm like, that's fucking cool. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard, and that did it for me. I'm like, I got to play from now on,
Dude, the hi-hats in the middle of that song during the whole break are just
And, you know, it's
phenomenal.
right? And it's not really even a drum song. It was just
No.
that song that did it for me.
Are you talking about Frampton Comes Alive?
Yeah.
The first live record to go platinum or something like that? Double platinum? Yeah.
Dude, all the little louds and quiets in there. Oh, the patterns within the patterns.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love it.
And you know what? I bet you the people in the audience were like, he fucking makes that guitar sound like it's talking, dude. And they're losing their mind. And
Minds,
meanwhile,
exactly.
he's going, you ever seen it?
Oh, yeah,
like,
it's hilarious.
It's dumber than fuck.
Exactly.
It does.
Thank God
Exactly.
you never saw him doing it. You
Yeah.
just heard it. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounded great.
It did. It
Oh,
sounded
man.
really great. The Talkbox was kind of on the radio at that time. Joe Walsh also had Rocky Mountain Way, which had a big breakdown in the
yeah.
middle of it
Yeah.
with the Talkbox.
Yeah.
And then did it not really? And then Nazareth, Hair of the Dog, you know, now you're messing with son of a bitch.
Yep.
The whole breakdown in the middle of that. But then it was kind of out of it for a while, and then the Talkbox came back
Here comes
for
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, "Living on a Prayer" is when
yeah.
the Talkbox re-emerged.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good era. No, what I was gonna say is like you turned it to the X, and it was like, yeah, they were a real rock and roll radio station because they were playing the exact same songs that they're playing today. They did not ever change their list, but that's fine because in a lot of respects, that was the greatest era of album rock in the history of mankind in that little zone.
Yeah,
right
now
there.
that you mention it, that song, Living on a Prayer,
Yeah.
that you're talking about,
Yeah.
is actually just two notes. If you took the voice box off it, it just
Yeah.
goes, whap, whap, wah, wah, wah.
He's got some palm mutes.
Wah, right,
No,
right.
no,
But
no,
there's,
go,
but with that, it makes it
go,
sound wow, 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 wow,
Right.
wow, wow. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
got
yeah.
that kind of a feel to it.
Yeah, and he does the whole dive bomb. A little plug for the band there. Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hated Bon Jovi with a passion at that
Did you?
time. Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
Absolutely hated Bon Jovi.
When he came running out with the tassel sleeves and the fucking Tommy used to work on the, and I felt I could hear the vagina juice dripping on the ground.
It
I
was.
Like, oh, fuck! That was my
Yeah.
first jealous. Like, fuck you! I'm
Yep,
gonna hate
yep,
you forever
yep,
now
yep.
because all the girls like, hey, Bon Jovi's so hot.
and the girl that I really dug at the time, she was just like prepubescent wetness for Bon Jovi.
I just remember you could walk down the halls of your school, and as the locker doors are opening in between
Yep.
classes, it's all John
Yep.
Bon Jovi
Yep.
inside. You know,
It was John Bon Jovi and BC Rich ads, I think, is what
yeah.
I would at the time. What the fuck, dude? Poison and all that shit. Dude, I
I
you don't know how deep my hatred is for all of that shit, dude.
'cause-
Just
'cause-
hatred.
because we couldn't
Yeah.
do it. We didn't have pubes yet.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
didn't know what to do. And here's this Bon Jovi guy getting all the girls. How do
kind
we
of
stand
name-
a chance against him?
And what kind of name is Bon Jovi anyway?
Yeah.
Sounds like some kind of onomatopoeia for taking a shit.
Well, here I got a story to tell you. I hope that this is just a screensaver and everything didn't just shut off.
Please be alive. Hey, we're alive.
Yeah. So anyway, apparently, when I was in high school, I'm guessing freshman, 9th grade, so we're 14. Okay. Halloween, Armored Saint, and I believe Celtic Frost played somewhere around here, and somebody had just referenced it on Facebook, and they said something about that show because Mark Dettel had put up a Halloween song, Halloween.
Oh yeah.
It's Halloween. That
Right,
fucking
yeah,
song that
yeah.
you probably love and you listen to every day.
I still do.
I love Halloween, man, by the way. Anyway, so
I actually did like Halloween back
yeah,
at the
this
time.
concert was down somewhere, and I didn't get to go because I was one of them kids that you weren't allowed to go to something like that.
Right.
You'd have to sneak out, and it'd be a big to-do.
Oh,
You'd have
yeah.
to have all this shit
Oh,
set
yeah.
up, and like, okay, I'm going to be at your house, Joe, right?
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Staying at your house tonight? Anyway, the kids today have no idea. Well, they can't get away with shit now.
No, absolutely, dude. They got fucking GPS tracking on their shit now. Dude. They can't do nothing.
All you had to do, I'll get back to it, but all you had to do then was say, I'm staying at Joey's house, and then have somebody that acted like their mother answer the phone if
Right.
your mom happened to call. Right?
Total Ferris Bueller action, man.
So anyway, Halloween played down there. And I just remember when I was standing at the lockers the next day, and one of my girlfriend's friends showed up and was standing there at the lockers, and she goes, I went to the show last night, check it out. She pulls up her shirt, and she had little titties, they're probably little B cups or something, but to me back then they were
Yeah.
like,
Well, you saw some titties.
yeah.
You saw
She
some.
She whipped her shirt up, she had autographs all over her tits.
Awesome, dude.
No, she's 14.
Awesome.
And these rock bands are signing this girl's tits. I'm thinking back then it was like I was like, oh, I've got to, yeah, that's it. I know
Yep.
what I'm doing with my life.
I'm in.
Mm-hmm. But now thinking
Jail.
back,
I'm in
thinking back
jail.
as a 41-year-old father, I'm like, them motherfuckers don't care. They were like, bring it
Yeah.
on,
Yep.
14-year-olds.
That's right, dude.
Yep.
Yep.
Got to be careful.
Well, you do now. I mean, that's the other thing too. Is like what real outlet for getting the information that they did that out to the general public was there? You know what I mean? There just simply wasn't the kind of eyeballs on everybody at the time that there are now. I mean, everything makes it out now. Everything. And then all it has to do is catch sight of somebody who either really likes it or really hates it, and it spreads
Yeah.
like a virus.
Yep. You ain't getting away with shit,
You
man.
ain't getting away with shit.
Yeah, it's just everything's immediate.
It's
And
immediate.
remember, we used to have to wait a month for the next copy of Circus or Hit Parader.
Right.
And
Shit,
that's when you found everything out.
Right.
And now,
And then that was probably still watered down. That was probably still what
right.
they wanted you to,
Well, they didn't want to
read.
shit where they ate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They
yeah.
wanted to make sure that everybody would still talk to them.
Oh God, I remember. I knew what gas stations would allow you to look through the magazines before, until they kicked you out. Some wouldn't even let you pick them up.
Right.
Hey, you're
Yeah.
buying that. Like fuck, I'll go down to the other 7-Eleven.
Hy-Vee, dude.
Hy-Vee let you?
Oh God, you could just sit there and fucking.
I'm not sure there was a Hy-Vee when
That's
I was
like
doing
a-
this.
it's
It
like
was
a library.
7-Elevens and
Yeah.
whatever. So you
but
get
it was still 7-Eleven. It wasn't Quick Shop.
It was 7-Eleven.
It was 7-Eleven.
Or just whatever market, some
right.
gas station with
Right.
the magazine rack, and then
Right.
you go and you get the magazine that's already all curled and bent
Yeah,
from all the other teenagers.
There's sweaty little hands all over it.
Yeah, and you can tell it's all like been fucking looked through already. It's all hoard out.
Yeah.
Pages ripped out of it. And
Oh,
shit.
fuck, man.
So and this, oh wow, staring at pictures of these people, like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, and then you see this new band standing there, Queensryche.
Queensryche.
How do you pronounce this?
Queensryche. You listen to that Queensryche band?
Queensryche.
They're seriously good, dude.
Yeah, and then you listen to the radio and you're like, that was the latest by Queensryche. And you're like, Queensryche.
There we go. Queensryche.
Queensryche. That's what it is.
Ah.
And then
now you be correcting them other motherfuckers.
And then for my birthday, you wait, and for my birthday, I get tickets to go see Kiss. And guess who's opening? That Queensryche.
Queensryche.
That Queensryche band is playing opening. And I ain't shitting you. It was during Rage for Order, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Well,
walk
that
into the
was-
motherfucking place. I'm a kid. I'm there to see Kiss. I didn't know anything about Queensryche.
That was a messed up album.
It was a messed up album. And it was a messed up concert because it was Jeff Tate had like the mohawk.
I know.
And a trench coat, and it was all that
Eddie Munster
I wanna
looking.
get close to you or something. It was
Oh,
weird.
that was awful.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was the worst song on the album. That was the only one they released as a single. I have no idea why.
It's probably not their idea.
Yeah.
It was
And then-
probably somebody else's brilliant fucking idea.
And then something absolutely fucking just hit midnight or something in their brain, and out came Operation Mindcrime. And I have no idea how they went from, and then all of a sudden there's this master fucking piece
Yeah.
of an album that, even nowadays, if sometimes, Danelle want to listen to it because I got her hooked on it because
Yeah.
it's got sex, it's
Yeah.
got priests, it's got hitmen, it's it's all these things. It's very interesting. It's
Now, was the older stuff? I remember hearing some older stuff from Queensryche, and it struck me as I listened to it that it was very, very much in the lineage of like Iron Maiden. There was something that
I
was
think that
really
there's some of that there.
really
I mean,
Iron Maiden-y about it. To the way,
The
at least to
EP, the original EP was probably like that a lot.
I want to say
Yeah.
that Jeff Tate was much more theatrical though.
more theatrical even than Maiden.
Your rosary wrapped around your throat.
That's right.
Come on.
But I mean,
Right?
But
He didn't say, your rosary wrapped around your throat.
ah, right.
He was like, your rosary wrapped around your throat.
The differences
Did he
between
touch his
Tate-
nipples when he said
I think
it?
he did.
Did he touch his nipples?
I think he did.
Yeah, you
But,
might be right.
Sure he did.
All right, I might have just saw that part.
It was a shift, but correct me if I'm wrong. It was really sort of a shift from sort of more traditional conceptual fodder, in next wave of British heavy metal type stuff, moving on into more like science fiction-y, Philip K. Dick, dystopian futures, and
Are we still talking about Queensryche?
yeah, talking about
Yeah.
Queensryche,
Okay.
how it became almost more about the experience of trying to figure out what reality. Because I remember listening to the Empire album, and I just remember thinking to myself, these dudes did some acid, but not like they did acid and everything got weird. Like they did acid and like saw the truth, and some of the little blips and spoken dialogue and stuff in the beginnings of songs and things like that. I mean, it was very hallucinogenic sounding to me. Like
Just
people
seemed-
like
I cannot be in a car where the power windows go down.
Kill her. That's
Kill
all
her.
you have to do.
That's all you have to do. Kill Mary?
Mary?
Oh man,
She's a risk.
Yeah,
And get the priest as well.
See,
Yeah, right.
it's all
Yeah.
there. And all
Yeah.
them little things in the record, it just
Yeah.
gives me chills. It's like, fuck, this album is so awesome.
Right.
See, Kevin and I, for a bit there, Jerry Smith, who's in Cheese Pizza now, and we had me. I was trying to sing. Kevin was playing drums, obviously, and we had
Mark Watson.
Mark Watson on guitar, and
Tony
Carducci on guitar, and we were
Ah.
trying to do all of Operation Mindcrime.
Awesome, dude.
Right. And which has been a dream of mine and when they asked me to do it, I was like, oh man, I'm not Jeff Tate, man. Jeff Tate's a special fucker, dude.
Yeah, he is.
And if you're gonna do a tribute to Queensryche,
You got to pull that.
You have to
gotta
sound
pull
like
that.
Jeff Tate, man.
How are you going to get, I mean, to me, it's like, how are you going to get that level of silk when you start singing up in the tenor registers, you know, the higher tenor registers? Because the dude has an absolutely creamy voice in that realm. No, but no, as far as the Mindcrime thing was concerned, if any of you guys are familiar at all with the literature of Philip K. Dick, you owe it to yourself to check it out, because a lot of what goes on in the storyline, as I understand it, in Operation Mindcrime, the dilemmas of not knowing what is real. That is a major story element in a lot of his work. He's the guy that wrote Minority Report. He's the guy that wrote Total Recall. He also wrote Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was adapted into the movie Blade Runner. And A Scanner Darkly, and I mean, there's a whole list of them. There's a whole host of them, and they all kind of deal with that kind of subject matter. So, I mean, if you dig that kind of concept, man, check out Philip K. Dick. It's awesome, awesome stuff. And most of it isn't like big, long novels. He's a big short story writer, so a lot of it's like quick read.
And by the way, if anybody knows the Operation Mindcrime story, which I don't care what anybody thinks. We're off on a tangent. If you don't like Queensryche shit, then shut it off or fast forward. But it was pointed out to me because when you got the live crime thing, you got the booklet.
Right,
and
I have
everything,
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was drinking with my one of my great friends, Benji, that used to be in Third Rail with me.
Bendrish.
He's got the Queensryche thing tattooed on his arm.
Oh, he's
really?
He's for real.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we had that connection, and he said, "Dude, we're all drunk. It's probably 4 o'clock in the morning." You know, he goes, "No, you don't get it, man. Check it out. Did you notice this?" And he said, "Look at the time on the opening, thing of the story, and now look at the time on the very last." He said, "It's only a minute has gone by."
Yeah, right.
Because because they always say, "Who killed Mary?" All these questions, and you're like,
we were all obsessed about that at one point, too.
they never give you the answer.
No, they don't. And
I don't think they know. I think
don't-
they just kind of had this. They had a outline of a story for you to fill in the blanks.
Right, exactly. And
when it got that popular, they were like, "Fuck, we got to come up with a reason that this happened now." Kind of like Star Wars, you know what I
Right.
mean? It's
Yeah,
like
right.
you put out Star Wars Episode 4, and then you have to. Well, fuck, we should.
now, in fairness, he knew. George Lucas knew.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Bullshit.
He had the entire story essentially worked out.
So Star Wars was called, that first one in '78 was called Star Wars Episode 4.
No, he didn't
no,
name
when
it
they
that.
first released it, it was just called Star Wars
Yeah.
because they didn't know if he was going to go over.
Right.
And
But
he knew it was Episode 4.
Yeah,
but
he
we
had-
didn't have any
yeah,
idea.
he had conceived of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Really?
The whole thing
Yeah.
was based off of the work of, speaking of people ripping off other authors, George Lucas read a book called Hero of a Thousand Faces by a man named Joseph Campbell that says that there are these archetypal parables. In other words, every culture on planet Earth tells essentially the same story when it comes to this parable of a hero. So what he does is he analyzes it, and he comes up with this theory that this story of this hero is actually built into our nervous systems. It's actually structural in the evolutionary history of humanity, and that's the reason why. So if you build a story in this way, it touches something inside people's minds that you can only get at by telling that specific story.
I was a tiny kid when I saw Star Wars, and it was neat. Kind of like your kids watching something that's cool, and they're like, "Oh, neat, that's cool," but you don't get like struck by it.
I was.
And then later, see, I didn't. I was probably like, "Yeah, right. I want to go home and listen to Kiss." I got a concert to do later. Is this gonna be over? I hope I hope the guy in black wins because he's cool.
Dude, if the concert runs late, the union gets pissed. They got to strike the stage late.
So,
Pay him overtime.
I watched that then, and then so many years went by, and I knew that everybody was so in love with Star Wars. And Star Wars stars, and I saw Empire Strikes Back too, and I kind of, I get it, the dark side and this and that.
Right.
But then time went on, and I forgot all about all of it. And then Benji, who is also a Star Wars freak,
Yes.
everything in his house is Star Wars, and he's got his Star Wars room, like your friend had his Kiss room.
Yeah.
He's Star Wars everything.
Awesome.
And he goes, "Oh no, dude, you have to watch it, and what you need to do is just watch it in order. Watch episode 1, 2, 3, and all the way through." And I did that, and thank you very much for telling me to do that, because by the time that it came to the end, I was like, I get it.
Yes.
Okay. So that was, because, I thought that the very first episode that was Luke Skywalker or something, the
Right.
character. That was fucking...
That was him.
That was Darth
the
Vader.
man. That was
Yeah.
Darth Vader, yeah.
Yeah. See, and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and it hits you. It's like that Sixth Sense thing. We're like,
Totally.
Oh, cool,
yeah,
man.
right.
But when you got the episode, it went 1, 2, 3, and episode 4 looked like it was made in somebody's
Yeah.
basement,
Right.
even though that was cutting edge in '78, but it just looked so cheesy.
And they
voices
they
and
tried to
everything.
redo it so that it looked a lot better, but it still didn't look as good as the next 3 that he did.
Right. Yeah. But he just had to do what he had to do, and he worked with. He invented a lot of the tools in order to be able to do that stuff. I mean, we benefit
ILS
directly.
and Industrial Lights and Magic.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Skywalker Sound, which and the THX standard for audio. I mean, all of those things were developments that he made in order to make it so that you could standardize the video and audio experience in theaters to make it so that people had a format to work toward.
Right.
That way you could play any of these movies in any of these theaters nationwide, and it would seemingly look and sound about the same, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That nobody had done it up to that point. He was really the pioneer as far as that was concerned. He probably made more money with all of that stuff. Well, maybe not more than the merchandising. The merchandising was huge. But
I liked the one where the Kiss was on it. The Kiss Meets the Family Apart.
Oh yeah, dude.
Star Wars Episode 25.
Yeah, right. The visual effects in that one.
I couldn't wait for that to come on.
Dude.
And it was. Did you ever watch it recently?
Oh my God,
So bad.
I have to. Everybody, plug your ears, okay? Plug your ears, because you indulge in it. You might not do this, but if you smoke marijuana first, oh my God, if it's bad when you're sober.
What do you always say? Hey, what do you say?
We're just ordinary human beings.
What do you always say? You always like, what do you say, Curly, or whatever it is.
No, Ace just went He just said the whole time. It was, that was actually a real concert, by the way.
And it was at what became Six Flags, but at the time it was just Magic Mountain out in California, which was a pretty bitchin' theme park.
Yeah,
back in the day,
Well, I don't know. Let's see what Paul Stanley thinks about it.
All right, then listen.
Yeah, we're listening, man.
We're listening, Paul.
We're listening, Paul.
Well, we won't get going. There's only one drink that gets us moving.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you want some coffee then, or what? Do you want some coffee, Paul? Or
No, we ain't gonna be drinking no tequila.
well, I didn't offer you any fucking tequila, Stanley. We how about some Southern Comfort? You like that?
We ain't gonna be drinking no Southern Comfort. No.
Well, shit then. Never mind.
Okay.
We
All right.
People tonight that are high.
Well, Paul, we really don't have time for this shit right now.
Every once in a while, we like to get a little wasted. We like to take a taste of alcohol.
All right, that's enough of Paul Stanley. He's had enough.
Did
he say wasted?
He said
We like to get
wasted.
wasted.
Oh man, sorry. Every once in a while, we might chime in with Paul Stanley and see what he's thinking.
Thank you, Paul Stanley.
Thanks for that, Paul Stanley.
Okay, now
Awesome.
put him back in the steamer trunk.
Oh my God, he's right there.
I know.
So that was my idol right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on this episode too.
Yeah.
Paul Stanley stops by
Yeah.
to have a couple drinks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I mean,
I'm
That's
sorry to
pretty
everybody
crazy.
out there.
Yeah.
If I had to do that. I found my stand-up of Paul Stanley up in the attic, and I was like, "Oh, I've got an idea."
It's kind of freaking me out.
Yeah. So you are how do we go from Star Wars to Lynn Allen?
well, what we were talking about was we went from
Queensryche
with Philip K. Dick to
now, Queensryche. I can tell that Queensryche influenced you.
Yeah.
What my whole take was is trying to be the singer is I was like, okay, these guys asking me, it's probably because there's nobody that can do Jeff Tate around here. And until they find that guy, I'll try. It's going to be fun as hell.
Sure.
That's fun. I go to sing Sister Mary or Revolution Calling and all these things.
So what happened? I mean, did you guys...
I thought that I did. I felt pretty good. I was like, wow, I kind of almost did that. Okay, I didn't sound like Jeff Tate.
Right.
But I could hit the notes and it
Sure.
didn't sound horrible.
Sure, you could bring yourself to it, I'm with that. I'm with that.
It's like training for a marathon, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go at it, and you realize I've hit a wall, and now I can't do anymore. My voice is going, and then you try it again the next week, and you feel a little stronger, and you train and train and train, and then you quit.
Right. So what happened? I mean,
We lost our practice
Yeah, the practice place folded.
That's the only reason.
oh,
Yeah.
where was it at?
All right. See, so like in this town, a lot of bands practice down at the Harborview.
Yeah, right.
It used to be a secret. Like hardly anybody knew about this
Yeah.
place. It's down by the river.
Yep.
On Federal Street.
I've been there many times.
And it's this big ass building. What it is it's several floors. It's like 4 or 5 floors, isn't it?
Yep.
And
4 or
each
5.
floor has like 10 or 11 big or some are smaller size, but
Yeah.
big rooms that you
It's
can
like
have band
it's like a
practice in.
light industrial complex.
Yeah.
I mean, you can set up little factories in
And
there.
they had the selling point of it was they had a loading dock with a freight elevator.
Right.
So if you were on the fourth floor, you can load in out of the back of your truck, wheel it into the freight elevator, and straight up to your floor, wheel it into your room, and there you go. So, we had that. You guys had a fucking wicked spot in there.
Oh, it was great. It was a great room.
It was at the end of one of the halls,
Yeah.
one of the bigger rooms in the place, and they had
Cool.
rented it a long time ago, so they were getting this
Your
rate.
grandfather.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, when I was looking for a room in there, they took me into your room, and they said, "Well, this room is big." And I said, "Yes, it is." And I said, "What are they paying in this one?" And they went, "Well, it says here that they're well, they should be paying. I'll tell you what they should be paying."
Oh, damn it.
And but they're not. And I was thinking, oh damn, so you guys let Dive Bomb piggyback on the room,
Right.
for a while. So what they did is they just let us pay some money, and because the room was big enough for like fucking
Sure.
3 bands to practice
Wow.
on, and they were
Cool.
using the whole room too. When I came in there, the drums are in the middle.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Wait video for White Lion. Like everybody
right.
had, I
Yeah.
could be clear over here, and and
Right.
it was just cool instead of crammed into a circle.
Right. One.
it was
the
really
one
cool.
video. Metallica.
But and then it started getting to be to where there's too many bands in
Well,
the place.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, and Simon Says Uncle had broken up at that time, so it was really kind of hard to justify keeping the room.
Yeah.
So
Right.
just kind of dropped off at that point.
Well, on any given day, you could be coming up the elevator and hear everything from, dance music, like
Like techno or house or something
house
like
or
that.
anything like that, and then some complete thrash, like
Right.
Continuance practiced in there.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Wes Weber's band.
Yep.
They were
All
doing
his
it.
stuff has been. So you could be going up the elevator and literally go through like 8 different genres
It's like
of music.
changing the radio
Yeah.
station on the
Yeah.
way up the elevator.
Yeah.
And everybody in there just ain't fucking around. They're going
they're
at
all
it.
going at
and
it.
it's on a
Pretty
Sunday
good bands,
afternoon,
yeah.
and that's what they're doing,
Yep.
and they're
Yep.
rehearsing and writing
Serious.
music, and this and that. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Serious business.
It was
lot
a
of
really
fun.
cool
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that there had also been some problems with people's shit getting stolen and
Yep.
whatnot down
I
there.
had shit ripped
and
off out of there.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That really is a buzzkill.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason
Well, it doesn't
why
take
we
too
never-
long. It doesn't take too long. I mean, you have a key to the building 24 hours a day, and you could literally put couches in there. That could be your hangout
So, I mean,
place.
if people
it
squatting
became a
and shit in
party
there.
squat.
Yeah.
Party squat.
No, that's a legitimate use of the term squat for sure,
Yeah.
man.
So you didn't know who was going to be in that building.
Yeah.
And then people just kind of roam around. Hey, let's see what's in this door.
Yeah.
Boom. And
Somebody figured out that the acoustic ceiling in
Yeah,
there
just move 'em out of the
was-
way and climb right
you
over
could
the
climb
top.
right over the walls, and the walls were just falsies.
Yeah, I kind of knew the party was over. I think it was on the 4th of July of of that summer, and I was up on the roof watching the fireworks, and there were starting to roll in just tons and tons of people. I'm like, where the hell are these people coming from?
Right.
And it was all friends of bands.
you mentioned Simon Says Uncle. I was just talking to a guy tonight. Man, I wish the fucking Simon Says Uncle would get back together.
Was it Hollowell?
Yeah, it was Halloween. He knows it's like the one guy.
That's the one big fan.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simon Says Uncle, which who was that? That was you and
Jerry Smith,
Jerry Smith, John
Kiss on vocals.
John Kiss,
Jeff
that's right.
Hazen.
and Hazen.
And
That's
Hazen,
right. That's
yep.
what I thought.
And
Because I remember
Mark
seeing
Schrupp.
postings and Schrupp. Right. I remember seeing
Yeah, you
postings.
can't forget Schrupp, man.
Which
Oh,
Schrupp,
yeah.
which Schrupp was he playing keys and guitar?
Keys and guitar.
Okay.
Yep.
That's usually his gig, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I remember getting Facebook invites from Hazen, and I can't get out of my house generally. This doing Minor Disturbance Radio on every fortnight. That's
Yeah.
about as good as it gets for me, man.
Yeah.
But I never came out and saw you guys. I was one of the non-supporters.
Yeah, you
as
should have.
usual.
It was
You should've.
fun.
Yeah,
It was
a
a
good
fun band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
We
when you get down to it, they were basically
We were putting our finger up at.
they were
the-
absolutely the anti-cover band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you were going to hear Talk Dirty to Me, you're not
That
hearing
was
Talk Dirty to
not
Me.
gonna happen.
But you will hear maybe Revolution Calling by
Oh, really?
Queensryche.
Really?
Or
Cool.
it would, and I felt that, and I was behind. I was like, yes, but there's nobody there.
Nobody cares.
And nobody
Yeah.
wants to see a band do that. And you know it's a lot of work for what?
Next to nothing, yeah.
I've got it figured out, dude. My retirement, and I hope that people are on board with this. I don't care about playing in clubs. It doesn't matter to me anymore. rent the fucking room at the Harbor View, invite your closest buddies, get a keg, and sit up there and let's bash through these Queensryche songs that we've been fucking around with, and maybe a few Maiden tunes,
Sure.
and have a party up here,
Sure.
Yeah,
and
some of our
celebrate
best
being
shows.
musicians, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll be good, maybe we won't.
No.
Have a good time, and it ain't about money or anything, and playing in bars. I think that what you guys were doing was a lot of fun, but it just wasn't going to be successful, as far as drawing crowds.
Yeah, it's one of those
Unfortunately.
things. I know. And in a larger market, it probably would have worked out a lot better.
Yeah.
But around here, it's a fine line between saturation and overexposure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You have to play to keep the thing going, but the more you play, the less people are coming out to see you.
That's right.
And nobody wanted to go really far out of town, so yeah.
And I'll put it like this. There's 5 guys in the band, right? Or was there, how many guys were in Sunsets? 5 guys. Okay, so you got, and I don't know how you work your business, but people hate to talk about money, but I'll just do a scenario. Okay, bars don't usually want to pay anymore, more than like $600.
Right.
Okay, and you guys had your own system. I don't know if you're renting it or if it was yours and you didn't have any overhead with it.
No, it was ours.
Okay, it was yours. Okay, so you get the $600. You had to pay your sound guy.
Yep.
So there's 6 guys in the band. Was he paid as a full member?
No.
Okay, so, but it's at the end of the day, how much were you taking home individually on the average?
Oh, maybe $100
Maybe
at the most.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's not that bad. When I did the math in my head, I was figuring you guys were probably rolling out of there with 50 or less.
No.
When it all broke down.
No, we did pretty good at some of the places out of town we played.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to say. I'm just talking realistically.
And it wasn't a lot of money, but and I didn't care.
Yeah,
I didn't care
that's
about-
what I mean. But when you really, when you look at the time put in,
Right.
and then you take out how much you don't make and how
Right.
much you feel at the end of the night, like, are people getting this? Or did they even care?
Right.
And then there might be 4 or 5 people like, dude, keep doing it.
Yeah.
But there's not enough. The satisfaction ain't there. The money's not there. That's what I'm saying. Rent the room. Call your buddies over. Say, hey, Trav, we're having one of them jams.
Yeah, you'll get closer to getting satisfied for
Right.
sure. You'll get
Yeah.
closer to getting
Here,
satisfied.
go over Master of Puppets a couple times and this and that, and we'll jam that song together, and then you do and we just get a bunch of musicians together and have fun.
Yeah, right.
But
that would be.
as far as getting
that would be
gigs,
fun.
it's got to be dance music, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, this record, the new Lynn Allen record coming, and you're playing drums on it.
Yep.
And who all's playing on the record? And what's it called?
I believe it's going to be called Streetlight.
Okay.
Which is one of the songs that are going to be on it. So,
Okay.
Barry Vestal, who plays with Dirt Road Rockers, he's
bass player?
doing bass. Paul DePaul, great guitar
Oh,
player.
wait. There's going to be 3 guitar players?
No, just
These are just
Bill
the guys
and
that came and did it.
Bill and Paul are doing the guitars.
What happened to Colin Keemley?
He's not doing the project right now.
He's
So,
not doing it right now?
Yeah.
What happened with that? I mean, because he was doing it.
Yeah.
I asked you before the podcast if there's anything that you didn't want to talk about.
No.
I mean, it's
Bill and
not
him-
anything bad, right?
It's
It's just-
nothing bad.
Okay.
No, it's just it didn't work out right, and I guess I could really. Bill would be the one to answer that question.
Okay. But it's not anything. It's just he decided it wasn't working that way, and so Paul DePaul came in to do solos.
Yeah, I don't believe it had anything to do with playing. It might have been more of a time issue.
Okay. That happens.
So
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, and I know my phone didn't ring, so I know I'm out of the loop,
Well,
man.
hey. Look, man.
Nobody wants Brian Miner anymore. All he's gonna
If-
do is that arpeggio shit.
You want
and the
what
fuck-
you want what you want when you want it, and if you can't get it from somebody, you got to get it from somebody else.
I gotta tell you, that's some of the funnest things though. When somebody's putting a record together and say, "Hey, I just need somebody to come in and do a solo on it," and then you listen to it, and you're like, well, what tricks do I have up my sleeve now that I only remember 3 tricks?
Yeah, right.
Which one do I want to try to throw on here?
Remember, I did
Colin's a great player.
He is
I mean,
awesome. He's an awesome
kid, but-
player. Yeah, I want to have him on the show. That's what I was going to talk about at the beginning of the podcast. Is we got to change the day that we do these podcasts so we can get musicians in here.
Yeah.
Because I want to get Keemley. I want to talk to him about some stuff, and I think that would be an interesting podcast. There's a lot of people that I want to have on the show, but Fridays are a busy day for everybody, or a busy night, and there's usually things going on, and it's just tough to get musicians in here.
Right.
unless you're in a big band like Lynn Allen and you only have to play one night a week.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Fridays, that's still a weeknight.
So how is that gig? I know that Bill's not going to watch this. You can be honest.
No, it's so. All right, so you go from playing Simon Says Uncle, which was a lot of freaking work, and this is just complete fun. That's exactly what it is. Bill and I have a blast on stage. You know, we don't worry about if anybody messed up. It's no big deal because it happens all the time.
Sure.
You know, just fun, man. That's it. Yeah.
So do you think that this is kind of, I mean, would you consider this like your retirement home? Are you going to stay there and ride it out?
You know what? Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't blame you for that, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you get something consistent that's, you know, hoping that Bill's health stays there. I mean, you know that you're going to have a gig. He's not going to all of a sudden go, fuck this band thing. It ain't working out. I'm going to work at Deer now. You know?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
He's gonna play music until he dies.
Yep.
Rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Tired of it.
He's not tired of it. Well, he might be. I mean, deep down, that man's got to be like, another night. But there's something in him, man, and I gotta appreciate that because I'm only 41 years old and I'm just about had enough of it. You know?
How many kids does he have?
He has 2 boys.
Yep.
And he has time for them and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, he fucking plays in a band.
That's
all
all he does. Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have a full-time job and he plays in a band. He plays in a band.
So he's got plenty of time for his
he's
kids.
got all week.
That's awesome. And he doesn't go on tour.
Well, he would.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he's talked about that before.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we're just fucking sellouts. We're just pussies.
We're wannabes,
We had
dude.
kids, and that just became an excuse. And
yeah, we're just posers. We just thought we were cool.
We thought we were cool.
We
for
thought
a
we were
minute.
cool for a while, and then when the shit really got real,
right?
You know, we
had
realized that we can't hang with.
We had to like break up with various women we cared about in order to be able to continue to be rock and rollers. We just wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
fucking pussies.
So, hey, you want to be my girlfriend? Yeah, you're awesome, man. I'm gonna keep playing in the band. I don't like that. Well,
some shit's got to change around here.
Next. Yeah. Hey, I hear Deer's hiring, man. They make you cut your hair. Yep. Can't work there.
Oh yeah, and there will be.
You never had to go through that. I went through that.
Yeah.
I with long hair and shit. It was like, do they make you cut your hair? I remember that was all.
No, I did go
going
through that.
Teen,
you know, back before I was bald.
Sure.
You know, I did have hair.
But now it don't matter.
Yeah, I was all combing my hair and it was all full, and I was like, plenty of room where that came from. But no, I went through that, man. What? You got to cut your hair to work at the car wash? Fuck that.
Yeah, I ain't cutting my hair.
Cut
for that
my
shit.
hair. I cut my hair to work at the fucking car wash. Shoulder length. All right, shoulder length. I'll do shoulder length.
I was the
Fuck
manager.
y'all.
I was the manager at a lumberyard for a while.
Really?
And they said, you know, to be the manager, you got to cut your hair, which I don't fucking understand. If I did good enough work to become the manager, what does it matter to have long hair? You're afraid of the customers coming in and thinking that, well, their manager has long hair. I'm not shopping here ever again.
Right.
They didn't care before. Look, I busted my ass. I got the position, and they want me to jump through hoops and act like this. I always thought that was bullshit.
That's really as much as anything what it is. They want to know what level of compliance you're capable of. People don't want to know whether you're educated per se. They don't want to know if you, have hygiene. You know what I mean? What they're really more interested than anything else is, will you say yes, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Will you say yes, sir? Will you say yes, sir, to any number, the most ridiculous request I can come up with, the most impossible task I could assign you with. Is your answer yes, sir? And if it is, you're the man for me.
Yeah.
These are not the kind of people I want to associate with generally, and it's easy to get them to weed themselves out of my life. And that's why when I first meet somebody, I don't know, within the first few paragraphs, I usually work in some kind of swear word.
Just to test the waters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if they don't like that, we can't hang out.
Yeah, we can't be friends.
Because, and I'm gonna claim the moral high ground too on it, because really it tells me they believe something as being fundamental about the nature of language, that there are certain words that are bad, which is a completely faulty bit of logic, which means they're probably susceptible to all these other logical fallacies, and I'd really rather not be around them when their shit comes crashing down because it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, you'd said that in an episode earlier.
Yeah.
Don't trust anybody that doesn't cuss.
I don't trust people that don't cuss, man. It's not real.
Right.
It's not real. And most of the time, it kills me too, because most of the time when they don't cuss, oh, that's a bad word. They'll say frickin'. They'll say effing.
I do that once in a while, though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
and I do that too.
I'll still say fuck, though.
I'll do that too. I'll do that too. My mom is even crazier. My mom will say frickin' and fucking.
Yeah.
And
That
this is the
frickin'
biggest
fucking thing.
fucking, it's like, what are you going for there, Mom? Were you trying to, well, you just abandon all hope. It's
Absolutely.
It's very easy.
Absolutely. That's why I have friends like you.
That's why you're stuck down in the gutter with people like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were complaining that the last episode was short.
Really?
Yeah, because we only did like 45 minutes last time.
Did you tell them their dicks are short?
Easy.
Sorry.
So how big is your dick then, Kevin?
Wow.
You look like a kind of guy. Hey, I'm not gay or not. It doesn't matter if you are or not. But hey, I bet you have a pretty nice sized cock.
I've never measured it.
What?
I've never measured it. I don't know.
Just
If you
thinking
do
about
measure it,
cocks makes
there's a-
his mouth feel like there's something in it.
There's a proper way to measure it. There's a proper way to measure it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And what you have to do.
Tell us this.
All right. All right.
Okay.
All right.
You have to go from you have to lay on your back, right, and let your balls fall the other way, right, and then you feel like where it goes in and tucks into your thing, right behind, and you go from there, right, and then.
Are you saying because that's the maximum penetrating?
That's the
depth?
actual.
Because that does get you like an extra, 23%, of length compared to the older. I go from the top side, man.
I'm just
I
gonna
go from
put it
the
out
top
there.
side.
I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
8.5 inches from my butthole.
From my butthole.
All right. I'm
Wow.
sorry. I didn't mean to ask you that.
Well,
Might as well.
It's really impressive if you actually knew what the diameter of his asshole was. I mean, that fucker is the
It's a
size.
gaper.
That fucker is the size of a sand dollar. I mean, most people when they look at it, they think it's prolapsed.
Yeah. I had somebody tell me today that they listened to this at work, and the people in the other cubicles are like, "Are you listening to satellite radio or what?" Yeah.
Close enough.
Mind your business.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it gets. I'm sorry about that.
We get pretty racy.
Yeah, sure. Even at music go around, they're like, we want to listen to it, but
we cannot listen to it.
kids, coming in with their moms for their first guitar amp. Yeah.
Talk about. I wonder, should I get this $119 Strat? Prolapsed anus.
Yeah, you can't do that. So
I don't know if I want to shop here.
anything that you
We don't
want.
want your business anyway.
Yeah. Anything that you want to promote on Minor Disturbance Radio, like the Street Light
Lynn Allen,
record?
Street Light, coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon.
Yeah, we got 2 songs left to record.
And you didn't bring me one to spin, did you? Because you didn't get the.
Yeah.
You don't know how much power Minor Disturbance Radio has, do you?
You probably already got it.
No, I don't.
Oh.
I think what I was planning on doing was waiting for Bill to come in
Right.
and
Yeah.
and actually getting it from his
Exactly.
his sweaty little hands.
Right. I mean, most of the songs are done, but they're not final mixed yet, and nothing's been mastered.
Yeah.
So-
I can't wait. It's one of them things that I'm kind of glad that I'm not seeing the making of it, so that I could just hear it as a final product.
Yeah,
Instead of
I'm
kind
with
of, being over to hear mixes and then
totally with you, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Let
It's
it
like
be
taking home a stripper. You've already seen her tits all night, and then you get her home. It's like, well,
boring.
right? Which I've never done, by the way.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty good.
It's really
It's
good.
pretty good. It's
Banging,
pretty good.
banging strippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I'm on it. I've watched
Yeah.
him do go through the writing process, and he's really happy with it too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, he knows what he's doing when it comes to
Yeah.
writing songs. I'm like I say, I'm looking forward to it.
Dude, remember how hard it was to get a good distorted guitar tone? It was fucking impossible. And then something happened, and you just didn't have to work as hard. It got a lot easier.
I was good at it right off the bat.
Really? Right from the beginning.
Yeah, right from the beginning. Right when I plugged my guitar directly into the input of my 4-track, it was like,
yeah, amazing. When you plugged in
when
your
it hit,
metal zone.
go.
Yeah, right. You plugged in your metal zone pedal. Yeah.
I had a PV Bandit.
PV Bandit,
Oh my
right.
God, and it sounded awesome.
Awesome,
The spring
dude.
reverb, you could be playing and you hit it, it's like,
Dude.
I have no idea what you guys are talking
Hold on,
about.
I got
Drummers don't know
I got to
shit.
dial the super sat and then put some more edge. Need some more edge.
Just white knob.
White knob.
White knob or
Use
blue
the white knob
knob?
or the blue knob. Oh shit, man! You had the one before that.
I had the PV Bandit 65.
The 60.
baby.
No, the one before the teal stripe. You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the one
yeah.
that had like a sub and bottom and
No,
cut
this
and
was
body and
this
edge.
was this was a 12-year-old Brian going to Griggs.
Yeah.
With his mom.
Yep.
Well, let's go see what they have, and I'm like, yes,
Yes, finally.
And you start, and you walk in, and you immediately go to like the half stacks, and you're like,
Right.
yes, and then you slowly the amps get smaller and smaller,
Right.
and pretty soon you're over here playing through the Gorillas and the.
But you notice that
the used fucking crates.
But you
and
know
shit.
the thing that's awesome about that is that the smaller the amps got, the more badass the name of it was.
Oh, yeah.
It's like over here, this 100-watt half stack, this is called the Super Lead.
Yeah.
But down here,
no, like
this little tiny 15-watt amp with an 8-on,
yep.
that's called the Destroyer.
Whoa! I'll have that one.
Get the Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's made by Gorilla.
Does that knob really say Big Dick?
It does.
Oh
In
my
fact,
God.
it's right next to the Super Galactic Destroyer switch.
Galactic.
You know what I mean? And that's what it was, dude.
Chris Noth sold it to you. Didn't he?
Exactly. And he was like, yeah, Chris Noth. What was the sales technique? It was like,
No.
we got this $100 guitar.
Shred.
Okay, and then we got this $600 guitar. It's like, turns into Dwayne fucking Allman.
You've worked at a music store
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. And the parents are like, that more expensive one does sound better.
No, here's what I saw it happen in front of me. I was like, "You fucking assholes!" Because they'd sit me down and I'd be, you know, danner 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 trying to figure out the chord to it, and they were like, he's pretty good. You know, I don't think I would be going for that amp. I think I'd step up to the, because he's a little advanced.
Boy's got talent.
And I'm like, I
Boy's
fucked
got
that up
talent.
on purpose just to see if
Yeah.
you do that.
And he would too, man. He'd be like, this boy got talent.
Yeah, you could see him like, hey,
Yeah.
got one.
Got one right
And then you have like somebody come in the room like, who is that playing that beautiful music in here? You know what I mean?
Brian, again.
You're in here
I'm gonna
every
have to
Saturday.
watch out for you. That guitar contest is coming up. I think you can win.
Yeah.
There's no competition for somebody like you, bro.
Really? You think so?
I do.
I
With
think
all
you're
my
going to
heart.
have to get this $400 amp, though.
Yep.
This $450 amp.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we got the wrong tag on it.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've been through that, and then I take the PV Bandit home,
Yeah.
and the rest is history.
Practice amp tone deluxe.
Back then, that was the shit.
It was, dude. Distortion
yeah.
in the amp. In the amp.
It's built in.
It's built in.
Could you imagine back then if a little ship would have landed and out came a like future you?
Yeah, right.
Like with the Line 6.
Right. Would have been like,
Oh.
In the early days when I first went to Griggs with my dad played electric guitar, and but I didn't know it. I never knew he played guitar, and we went into Griggs, and he played a couple licks. He's like, and I was like, whoa! Right? But he had plugged into the original Rockman, the Tom Scholz Rockman, and it had echo and chorus in the headphones, and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. We had been discussing before you showed up that sound was terrible / awesome.
I'd go into some of these, the music stores that only did Gorilla.
Right.
That was like the best amp they had in there.
Yeah.
In drummer talk, that would be Folger cans.
Right.
Right.
And so you go in there and all they have is Gorilla amps, and I'm thinking, okay, they're all $25 a piece. What if I got like 40 of them?
Right.
So I had 40 4-inch speakers.
Right, dude.
And
And just put them all in a big grid. Built a special cabinet to hold them
I
all.
can see it now.
Yeah. No, that would actually be like CB700.
CB7.
CB700, man.
Yeah.
Listen how
Not even Pearl Export, just like
camber cymbals.
camber cymbals, man.
Oh.
Yes, dude.
But I can get 3 of these.
Exactly. And you'll need 3 of
You'll
them.
need 3.
Them buggers are going to break, man.
Yep.
Stamped sheet metal cymbals, man.
One alloy away from a trash can lid.
Pretty much, dude. And
Yep.
if they got a crack, or I like the camber cymbals because if you did get a crack of them, They'd like flip inside out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? They'd just be like, oh.
Like a fucking contact
Yeah,
lens.
totally, dude.
exactly.
Yeah. I just can't get this fucking thing in my eye. These camber contact lenses suck. I'm getting Bausch and Lomb. I can't afford them. Well, I can get 3 camber contact lenses for 1 Bausch and Lomb.
I never really understood, when Christmas came around, I was like, hey, the cymbals look like $12, man. I'm going to get that for my drummer.
Hell yeah.
Like, here, dude.
Yeah, and he's
thanks
like, thanks a
for
lot.
the-
They drill it down to like this big.
Yes,
and
dude.
Like I can make a splash out of it, maybe.
But it is kind of bitching when you do that, because then they're like, you hear that shit, dude? That sounds like a phaser blast. I knew a dude who did that shit, man. I seriously did. Had a shitty ride cymbal, so he ground it down everything except the bell and made his own little dong, 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 dong out of it. Fucking awful. Terrible, man.
Just a bell.
It was just the bells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking bell.
Yep. They eventually came out with those,
Yep,
though.
they
Zildjian did. They came out with a Zill bell, and it was just the bell of a ride.
I just remember that when I was first jamming with drummers, the first drummer I kind of jammed with had like roto toms. He had the three rotos,
yeah.
and then
Right.
the rest of his drums were just kind of like sounded like they were falling apart. But then we're like,
Right.
You know,
But the rototoms almost sounded like fucking electronic.
Sound like
compared
Van
to those other
Halen.
things. It
Sound
did,
like
man.
fucking Van Halen.
I mean,
the pillow with
I don't know
the
what
drool stains and the pee stains and the drum set.
yeah, that's what it always was too, man. It
Couple
was like the
stuffed
pillow
animals.
nobody wanted.
A couple stuffed animals. in
Yeah,
there.
stuffed animals, the pillow nobody. But no, tuning drums, getting drums tuned is a fucking bitch, man. I mean, how do you do it? I mean, do you have an approach? Have you
Yeah.
developed an approach?
Yes.
You got it.
You make a drum. You tune it to the drum sounds good.
You just do it till it sounds good.
That's what you do.
So who's your favorite local drummer?
My favorite local drummer?
Yeah.
All time or
Just
currently?
name like 3 other drummers that you like think are cool and that are your peers and that you would be like, all right.
Jeff Clark used to play with Mike Ricketts. I think that was his name.
Mike Ricketts, yeah.
Yeah. Then he played with a band called Ivy Polly after that, I think. But he was fabulous. Matt Finn. I love Matt.
I want to
Matt
jam with
Smith.
Matt Finn so
He's
bad.
a good drummer, man.
He's not going to let me do it, though.
He's a good drummer.
He's a good drummer. He's so much fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then-
asshole though, hard to work with. I just wants everything like that. Whatever he acts like when he's drumming, that's not the real Matt Finn. It's not. It's Matt's here. Roll out the carpet.
Yeah, roll out the red carpet, Matt.
And if you talk to his guys, he might like talk to you for a while. It's like, is Matt talking today or is he?
Have you seen his
And
writer?
it's like, no, don't talk to him today. He's
Yeah.
not taking any. He's not taking any appointments. I'm just kidding. The guy's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, he's such a cool guy. Anyway, go ahead.
Matt Finn.
Bob Boyd.
Really?
When I was growing up, with Lynn Allen was the thing. And I went to see Bob, and it's like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That I want to be up there doing that.
Yeah.
And so he's always been an influence to me. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Which, I don't know any of that scene at all.
You must not have ever seen me drum Fight for Your Right and dive bomb them.
I missed that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry.
Wait till you see it. You'll change your list.
And then he's going to do I'm the Man by Anthrax, followed by When the Levee Breaks.
That should be good.
No, it's not good.
It's not.
That was my first drum beat, by the
The
way.
only thing
When the
worse,
Levee Break.
the only thing worse than me playing drums on them songs is Matt Finn playing bass on them songs.
Yeah.
He actually looked at me. Okay, for the people that aren't musicians, which if you aren't a musician,
gotta be left-handed.
you probably shut this podcast off a long time ago. But when he's holding the bass, I remember I'm like, boom, ga, po, po, ga, po, and he looks at me and goes, I forgot it. He's like, don't. I'm like, no, you didn't.
That's it.
That's
And
all
if you want to
need,
get
dude.
crazy, you could go do 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 if you want.
If you want.
Yeah, and then
Or not.
He's looking at me. He's like, I forgot how to play it, Brian. I was like, no, you're
No, you
fine.
didn't.
Trust me.
You did
There's
just
nothing-
fine.
You're fine.
You thought you
does
forgot.
does Ed play guitar on that? And
Ed just sings it.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so Jeff's still playing guitar.
Yeah,
On it.
Jeff's still
All right.
playing. And then, we usually try to switch it all around and get all crazy and shit. It's fun.
That'd be-
It's one of them things where if I'm going to do this, I'm going to try to have as much fun doing it as I can. And I want to play drums on a song, I'm going to fucking play drums.
All right.
And I want to play bass on a song, which I don't really want to, but I have to so that Ed can sing. And, but it, you It's fun.
Yeah.
And play guitar in a couple so that I can prove to the Cougars in the front that I can play guitar.
Yeah.
Just kidding. They don't care.
Whatever, dude. You're not just kidding. You're serious as a fucking heart attack about it. You love getting up front of people.
The reason why I want to play guitar is just in case there's like some stuck up snobby ass musicians that are there that are just like,
yeah, right.
God, that guy can barely sing.
Yeah. Wow, now he can barely play guitar.
Yeah, now it looks like he can barely do anything.
Yeah, this fucker's a bilingual illiterate. He can't read in 2 languages.
No. God, you're an asshole.
I know.
We're going to cut heads. It's going to be a shred off.
Yeah.
One of these episodes is just, we're not even going to say anything. We're just going to play guitar back and forth and see who wins.
Yeah.
It'll be me.
I know you're going to win, dude.
Well, because I play with my dick. So,
but not in a gay way, just like in the way a monkey plays with his dick.
Actually, Travis is a really good guitar player.
Right.
All being said, I mean, I'm way better than him, but he's pretty good.
I'm all right.
We had a couple listeners that asked if maybe we would do guitar lessons, not lessons maybe, but just like share a riff of the week or something like, hey, here's a riff that I think is cool and here's how I do it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this like, yeah, that looks simple, that's stupid. But there's some people that might think that's pretty cool to, hey, there's a real quick lick that's easy. And even like on the drums or something, you'd be surprised how many people would have no idea how to just do like a simple 4/4 beat.
What's that?
I'm not sure. I've heard people say that before. I thought I would sound smart if I said that. All right.
Okay. Kevin can count to 4, but he can't get to 1 again. That's the.
That's it.
That's really
the repetition part of it.
Okay. So are you? Can you read?
Can I read music?
Yeah.
I can read it just enough to get me by.
Okay.
In band in school. You had to do it, and I can't remember half of it, but
yeah, because when instead of going, it's in 5. It's in
time
5,
signatures.
4,
I
or whatever.
know, but
Okay,
sure.
Instead you just go, no, it's that Dem Bones beat.
Yeah.
Ding 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 again.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So, although not to bust you, that one's in 7.
Is it 7?
Yeah,
Fuck
that
you
one's
then.
in 7.
I thought it was 5.
No.
All right. Well, you got anything
Wow.
You got anything that you want to say, or anybody that you want to bust their balls?
Yeah, I was gonna say, perhaps you'd like to fuck Brian in the ass like I just did.
I do, but I forgot my list.
Did you?
So they're safe.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, just thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
We've hit the hour-and-a-half mark, so
hey, that's cool.
We're gonna shut up for this episode.
Yeah, which means we'll have about 45 minutes left after we cut out all the dumb shit. We proved that Kevin is a great sport.
Yeah,
he is a great sport.
Yep.
He put up with all of my bullshit famously.
Yeah.
He did very well.
So, thank you very much for coming and being on the show, and we'll probably have you back.
Yeah.
Once Lynn Allen goes platinum. When the record goes platinum, we'll have you back.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but I would like to have Bill on because last time we did Bill, it was at a weird time, and everything was kind of. And I'd like to have him in this kind of format to where we could just go.
Yep.
And I think it would be a lot of fun. And plus, he's got so many stories. That guy never runs out of stories.
Yeah, it's always a story.
Yeah, and don't forget, everybody that watches the episodes, I really, really dig it when you comment on the episode, start a little conversation. We're doing the best that we can. We have fun doing this. This is what I like to do now. This is my new band. This is what gets my rocks off, and I hope that you guys are digging it. And thank you very much for the listens. It's going pretty well, and we'll see you next time.
All right,
Minor Disturbance Radio, kids.
See ya.